Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Little Rags to Riches series on the Rheinländer map. For the rules, check the description, but a short summary. We started out with 100,000 in loan. That was it. We are allowed to do contracts, but only with our own equipment. And, well, if we use AI workers, we can only use them on our own patches of land. And that's basically kind of it. So, should be alright. We already have ourselves some tents, some equipment. We also have a harvester way over on our big field that we harvested last time. We have this small field. We have a silo now filled with some wheat. And, well, it's now time, I guess, to do some contracting. Now, as you can see, I got the extended info mod, so we can see we are in year 2 now. This is actually the first month of year 2. We can see the temperature now, so we have a little bit of extra information. I kind of like it. And since this field up here is now fully harvested, I guess we can get our AI worker to do the cultivating here, and we can go do some contract work, because I think there will be some contracts. Now, there is not any good baling for us to do, because we don't have a baler. There are some very good cultivating contracts that will make a lot of money. There are also some interesting harvesting contracts in terms of money, but we can't do those. Except, for instance, this barley one. We could do that. Quite a drive with the trailer, but that should not be the toughest part. And they usually earn you quite some good money. And there's actually 2 6,000 ones. Although this one is a way longer drive to actually get to. There's also a mowing contract that we might be able to do. So there are some options for us. And since we do need the money for that cedar that we want. Let me quickly see the exact amount of money. 58,500. So yeah, we're going to need at least 13,000 to get to that. So I was thinking we might do one of the cultivating contracts. The problem is we also want to cultivate that one field that we have. So it might be better off doing, for instance, the harvesting contract first, while we have our friend doing all of the cultivating. And while we do this, we can then see if the cultivation is done, and then we might be able to do one of those cultivating jobs. So I'm actually going to accept this contract because I love the harvesting contracts. And in order to get everything ready, we have to get our lovely friend, the AI worker, into this little machine. So let's make sure we lift the weight, because that wasn't supposed to be on the ground. Let's get this thing hooked on. Now we're going to drive this towards our own piece of land. We're going to let our AI friend handle it and do all of the cultivation work. Why work hard yourself if you can make somebody else do it? Alright, nothing coming from that direction, so here we go. Nice to drive our little Fiat again. I mean, it is a nice tractor, and it really worked well for us throughout most of the first year. So it is just a nice piece of machinery that we'll keep. I already decided I'm not going to sell any of the tractors that we got. We're just going to kind of put them in a museum, and we really have no use for them, which will actually take a while, because right now we can just use any piece of equipment that we have. And then later on, you know, some pieces of equipment we might actually sell. I mean, we already sold our first mower to get the better one. But yeah, for all those pieces of tractors, I just like to keep all of them as reminders which ones we actually got at some point. Now, this is the field we are talking about. So let me press the H button, so that we get the AI worker on it. Press H, and there he goes. He should now be doing the job, and he will do the cultivating, which is great. Let me just get into the harvester right now. We'll have to... Why am I not lifting up my... There we go. Question is, can we drive towards that field without running into traffic? I guess that's what the trailer is for, so we should probably use the trailer to do what it's for. I mean, oh, nope. I mean, that is part of the fun, to use the trailer for what it's for. So let's unhook this. That car will probably come our way. Nope, good. Let's put this piece on. This is supposed to go on here anyway. Always a bit hard to know exactly where you have to drop it. No, I told you to drop it. And then it should get into position automatically. We're lucky. If not, it might just fall off. But it should just bump into position, actually. By the looks, it did. And now we can drive to that field. Then we'll also have to get the tractor out, of course, and with the trailer to get all that harvest in. I think it's about the same size field as what we had. So it will be a bit of work. And of course, our harvester can only go 27, so that's not the fastest. But I just like to do some work like this. Plus 6,500, plus a little income from the harvest if we play it right. That might already add up to like 8,000 or something. And that won't be bad. I think I will like that actually. So it will be interesting. And we'll be putting our nice piece of machinery to good use. So I'm going to like that. Now I'm just going to drive to the field, hook up the header, then we'll get the tractor out so that we can start to work and dump our stuff. And then we'll just speed things up and get it over with quickly. Because, you know, there's not a lot to talk about right now. We just have to make money, get the seeder, and then we can start to make a plan about what we're going to do with our field. But right now, without even a field ready and without a seeder, there's not a lot to talk about. So I guess the best thing right now is to just make sure we earn as much money this month as we can so that we can get that seeder going. Alright, we are hooked on. Should probably make sure that I am out of the way for any traffic. So, yep, there we go. Let's turn it off and let's get into our white tractor right now. Make the big jump. Then we're going to go off to this one. Now, I wonder, and I don't know the answer, and I'm not going to try it out right now, but maybe you know, so let me know if you do. If you, like right now, if we go and get the harvest out, at some point you will get the contract 100% and there will still be a bit of wheat left in your trailer if you get all the harvest done. So there is the option at some point to save some, and all that you dump extra will be extra money for you. But is it possible to, as soon as you hit the 100% for the contract, to stop emptying your crops, put them in your storage, then end the contract so you actually get the money in, and will those crops then still be in your storage so that you can sell them at the highest price? Because right now we probably won't get the highest price. Is that an option, or is that just me dreaming and that ain't gonna happen? I don't know, so I guess you will have to tell me. But please let me know if you know the answer to that, because then it might actually be worth it to not go for like dumping everything and make money on... Where's the trailer? I am sure we hooked up the trailer. Okay, something went wrong there. Hope we didn't lose it on the way, but I guess not. We just apparently did not hook up the trailer, although it said we did. Oh, made a mistake there. But yeah, let me know if you know the answer, because I really want to know about that. Oh wow, this is interesting. I just missed the trailer. Yeah. Well, anyways, let me just do all of this, get the harvest over, and then we'll dump everything. See how much money we make extra because we do that harvesting bit. And then I will speak to you when we know how much we made. Well, the harvest is done. We barely did it right because we got at 98%. If we would have gotten over 100% before we had harvested the whole field, we could actually not be harvesting it anymore. That meant that we would have lost money, but we did it perfectly okay. So now we're going to dump off this barley in the trailer. I'm going to drive back to the grain silo at the train station, and then that is mostly money that's going to flow into our pockets. It's not a lot, but it's a bit. As you saw in the beginning of this job, I did try to kind of do a bit of the work in first person mode, so actually sitting in the cabin, but that is tough, I can tell you that. It's really hard to see, so it was nice, but I'm probably not going to do that anymore. And now we just have to dump this off. And I also noticed that, I already knew this, but yeah, it takes a long time to do a job like this on this map, because the fields are big, we have the smallest possible combine, we have the smallest header, so a job like this just takes ages. And you know, I think there's better ways to make money on this map. So what we're gonna do soon enough is to probably not do any of these contracts anymore until we get a better combine and a bigger header, because the smaller ones are not really worth it. This is going to earn us 6,700, I believe, and maybe 1 or 2,000 in earnings from the barley. But yeah, that's all about its worth. So I mean, if we do the big cultivating contract, 15,000, it will also take us a long time, but it will earn us 15,000 and not just 6, 7, or 8,000. So might be, even though they make you really feel like a farmer, these contracts, and they're really nice, I would rather do the harvesting on our own fields. And for that, we need to make as much money as we can during the second year to kind of hope that we actually have a sizable farm by the end of year 2. So in July year 2, which is 11 months from now, my goal would be to like have 3-4 major farm fields. And if we can do as much contract as we did last year, then that would be very well possible. And that would also really help us to switch from all the contracting towards just running our own farm and making good money on that. So that kind of is the idea. But yeah, before we reach that, we need to do some contracting. And well, this is one, so this will get us the money. And I'm actually interested to see how much harvesting money we get. So the harvest sales. So the contract will be done real quick after we start dumping it. And then it should just be quite a bit of money for us, and I'm really curious to see how much that will be. If that gets up to, I don't know, like 4,000, that actually makes it really worthwhile. If it's not that much, then meh, we'll see. I also want to check out this. I like this place though, but I got it mixed up. I never really went to a train station before on my own, so I actually went to that blue dot and I was like, well, that's supposed to be where it is. I was also trying to see if I can get through here, but that's not the case, and now I have to back this trailer up. Well, that's gonna be interesting, see, because it's going all wonky already. Oh dear, might have to just go straight here and then back it up straight. That might be the best right now. Can I see where I'm going? Not really. I just try to get this backed out as straight as possible, so that we can find a way out. I've actually thought that this might be open. That's what it looked like. That obviously isn't the case. Okay, let me now back up straight without steering. That might just do it. Well, not really, but almost. But yeah, while I'm struggling with this. So as you noticed, I was trying to dump the stuff then into that train by putting it right on that spot, but apparently that was a little mistake, so I hope that I can do better now. Now I have no clue how people are able to drive something like this, because how does this work all this way? Because you know, this is now going to kind of flip over on me. How does this work? I don't know. But we're getting further and further out, so we might as well be there soon now. If I can just get it to back up a little bit more straight now. No, this is too tight. Wow, this is tough. Tough. I mean, how would one be able to do this? I could probably tip it over, but that might not be the smartest idea. I can go a little bit like this, but I don't know if I can make this turn now. Oh, I actually can. Oh, maybe that's the whole point of this axle system. I don't know. Well, we're on the way again. Have to make a big U-turn now. Well, that's how we learned the map. It's the first time I get here this way, so yeah, we learned a bit of the map. Sorry about that. Just takes up some time. But yeah, I now learned that you have to put this in a different spot. I do like it that it's also working on the actual train tracks. Have to be careful for the train trope though, because that will just wreck your whole machine, and that's not good. But it's interesting. Right, let's open up the cover already. Let's get onto the right spot, and we're going to dump this off and see how much we made. And then we're going to just dump off all of our equipment soon and see what that does. The AI worker was done. I already noticed that, so that is the good news. And how much do we make? Yeah, that's not too much. 1,800 on the harvest income. Then if we check another 6,100 on this, so all in all, if we round it up, 8,000. Not bad, but also not too good. We have wood transport, plowing. We have a nice mowing contract. There's more harvesting, of course. There's... Oh, whee, that is a ton of money that we're going to need. Okay, let's go accept that. That is a contract I'm going to do. So right now, all that is left for me to do is drive back quickly to the farm, get the AI worker home too, so that we can take that cultivator. We have to make sure that our harvester gets home at some point during the episode. And I want to get this cultivating job on, because that's 22,000. That is all the money that we need right now. So that is very good money. So yeah, I'm going to drive home quickly. I'll get everything home. So we get the AI worker tractor home, we get the cultivator home, we get the harvester home, and then I will get into the cultivator. I will do the cultivating job, and right after I'll get back to you. And we're going to do some talking about what we can buy soon, what else is there to do, and all that kind of stuff. So that is going to be it. Whew. Well, I managed to stop in time. Didn't see that one coming. So yeah, I will see you right after the cultivating job. Well, luckily for you, you only got to watch a short portion of this, because I had to do this for 2 hours straight real time. So, there was a lot of work. But hey, 22,000 in the pocket. That's nice. Now, I think there'll be some more nice contracts. This one, a bit smaller. This one even smaller, but I don't really want to do those. There are some harvesting contracts. But I don't know any that will be good for us. There are now nice mowing contracts. There's plowing contracts. There's spraying contracts. I wish there were hoeing contracts too, but they're not, so that's not something. But yeah, there's some good contracts right here. But something else I want to do today is check the calendar, and let's see. We can start to sow in the canola already. Now, I'm going to drive back to get our seeder, and then we will start to get the canola in. But first we need some fuel and repairs. Once that is all done, we're going to get that canola in. Now, Vladimir already pointed out something in the comments on my latest video, episode 13, that with the seeder we don't really have to cultivate, because it will do it automatically, and you can just seed over other crops. But I have had an experience where I tried that and it didn't work, and my reasoning was that it had to do with the fact that there were still stubbles on the ground. And because of those stubbles, I could not do the seedings, let's say the cultivating and the seeding, because the stubbles had to be removed first. It was a field that I also recently harvested, and then afterwards I wanted to try and seed it straight away, and it didn't work out. So, can somebody clarify this for me that really knows this? If it's true that I can just, you can harvest a field like wheat or canola or whatever, and then with the seeder that I have, you can just go over it, and you don't have to cultivate it, you can just immediately seed it. Or do I have to make sure that I do cultivate it first, or remove the stubbles, because that's also an option. Of course, we don't have a machine for that, but that could be an option. So that then, yes, you can do the seeding and cultivating in one. I don't know about it, so if you do, please let me know, so that I can make a good and well-informed conclusion on it, and make sure that next time we don't do a job that we don't really have to do. But it was really my thought that sometimes, yes, you can do that, but if you have to remove stubbles, it won't work. But I can be totally wrong here, so please clarify that for me so that I know that 100% sure. We already did the cultivating now, though, on our big field, so it will not make a change for this time. But next time, when we have seeded the canola and in a year we have harvested it, it can actually make quite a big time difference. So yeah, I would really like to know. So if you know, let me know so that I also know. Alright, let's see if we can start to refuel a bit. Oh, this is going to take me quite a bit of fuel, but it's okay. I mean, we don't worry about it. It's just a bit of money. 325. Ah, that's not too bad. That's not too much fuel. We can deal with that. Let's now take a straight drive home. I think the seeder will be all the way home, or on the field, actually. I might have parked it at the field, but I don't think so. It'll probably be home. So we're going to have to pick up the... Did I actually buy the seeder already? No. Yeah, I think so, because we also bought seeds for it. Didn't I? Let me check. I don't remember, actually. I should be able to see the garage. Oh, we don't have a seed. Ah, I thought I bought it already. We haven't even bought the seeder yet. Oh, that's interesting. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, I can hear you honking. It's time to buy a seeder. I was already wondering, like, why do we have so much money? Shouldn't I have less money? But now I know I should have less money, because we still have to buy that seeder. Let's go ahead and buy that seeder. Let me just park this up in the back here. There we go. Can always use this for a contract later, so let's just park it out here. There it is. And now it's time to buy that seeder. Now, do we get lucky and get a nice deal? Oh, there is a seeder deal here. But we need 275 horsepower. That is something that we don't have for sure. This one can go fast, though. Seeder offers the possibility to seed directly. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, that would be interesting, but I don't have that money, and I don't really need it right now. Let's get to seeders. There we go. So we were going for this one, I think. Aquila Drive. No previous cultivating or plowing is necessary. Ah, yeah, it says it is. Okay. All right, let's buy this machine. Ah, they changed the number plate again. So let's go here. Oh, yeah, sometimes if you hit certain letters on your keyboard, it won't work. That's always my thing. So there we go. That's it. Let's make it John Deere green. Back only. Yeah, okay. Well, this is going to be it. This is our machine. Do we need a ridge marker? I don't think so. Do we need to put in a fertilizing unit? 10,000 extra. Yeah, I can do that later. We're not going to do... We have a fertilizing unit already. Don't really need the ridge marker, I think. So we can just go like this. And there it is. Okay, we have room for 2,800 seeds. So we might as well just buy some seeds. Now this is 1,000 liters for 1,260. 1,000 liters for 1,260. This is 1,050 liters for 1,260. So I'm going to buy 2 of these. Let's buy them. And here we go. Now we just have to hook up the seeder, load the seeds, and then we can get to our canola field and start working it straight, which is nice because it's en route to our home, basically. So it's nice. We can just go there, do everything we have to do, and then after that, we can park it at our own place. All right, let's fill up the rest. Let's get into this view. And let's drive to that field. Now, I'm hopeful that we can do that job relatively quickly. And then afterwards, I would like to see what else we can do in terms of contracts. Now, we're down to 13,000. Actually, so we needed that contract to get all the money for this. I almost forgot, but yeah, we needed the money. So I'm very happy that we got that big cultivating contract, even though it was a lot of work. And of course, I know that I promised you a somewhat slow play, but of course with a big field like that, and we all know what cultivation looks like, that's why I skip most of that. I don't do that on all jobs, of course. Sometimes you see full jobs, sometimes I edit out a little bit in the middle. But most jobs you normally fully see it just at a higher speed. But yeah, for this one I didn't really want to do that. Alright, select seeds. Let's get to the canola. There we are. And then we can hopefully soon start to seed it in. Will be interesting. We'll take up some time, but that's okay. And I'm going to show you all of the seeding, because I think that is really a part of our farm. So that is something that I would like to show you. And then it will probably just be contracting until we can sell all of the crops that we harvested last time, which will be in January or in December, something like that. That's going to take a bit. But I do have a plan on what we're going to buy next. And as soon as we sown in the field and we check contracts, I think I can tell you what my plan is, and you can also comment on it, because before we reach that, it might be another 2 episodes. But that's going to be my plan. And I want to hear what you all feel about it. Now, we have to sow in field 57. I'm going to continue driving a bit until we get to the right corner up there. And we will start the sowing all the way up there. It looks to me as if we missed... Oh, look at that. The dude missed something. But the good thing is that doesn't have to be a problem, because apparently this machine can do it all, so we don't have to worry about it. Let's get the steering assist on so that I can see what I'm doing. Let's get out of here. We have everything ready and set, so now we can immediately check if it really works or that it is just an issue. Okay, well, here we go. Let's turn on the machine, and now it should be planting. And yep, we're losing liters now. We can see that the soil changes a bit behind us. So apparently it works. Let's just see if I can go like this and make it... Oh, nah, this is not the nicest way. Let's turn it off. Let's take a little drive. This is going to be interesting because it's a big machine. It's a very long stretch behind me. It's going to be interesting to make sure that we really sow in all bits and pieces. But we're going to get to it. I will make it work. I just have to be a bit careful. And now we're going to drive over that patch and see if that actually works. I think we're just going to do the whole full headlands first, all 4 sides, and then do one side back forth, and then go to the next side, and then we'll start to do the middle, I guess. Alright, does this really work? It looks like it. Okay, let's turn it off. There we go. Should probably zoom out a bit so we can actually see the machine. Hope I didn't turn it off too early, but it doesn't look like it. Now we're going to go get this. Turn it back on. Oh, but that should save me a ton of time if we don't have to do the cultivation first. I just think, like, that bush there up ahead might be in the way of having the AI do a decent job. So those might be things that we have to remove at some point. Just so that the AI can actually do a good job with a field like this. So I'm kind of anxious that that's going to be the case. And then, especially for the tree stubbles, we might have to get some stuff for that going, so that we make sure that we really have the stubbles gone. For those bushes, it might just be enough to do a little bit of, you know, turn it into grassland, and then that might make a difference already. So we'll see. I still need to zoom out a bit more if we actually want to see all of the work that we're doing. Like right now, we can really see the work that we're doing. I'm just happy that we're seeding. We're really seeding in our own field. That is so cool. Okay, so this should do the first lines out here. And now we can continue like this. And do these lines. And off we are. Alright, I'm going to also speed this up a bit because it's nice. And we're not going to edit anything out. You will see me fully sow the field, but just at higher speed. And then afterwards, we'll talk about the plans for the next couple of months. Well, that should finish the seeding, but I always take time to zoom in a bit and see if I didn't miss any spots. Nope, apparently not. So we must have done an okay job. It's now all canola. We used less than 100 liters, so we will have more than enough for the next 20 years to just seed in this field. So that's good, that's good. Now I'm going to take you all on a little tour and we're going to drive a little bit because we were going to talk about my plans. And right now, what I'm thinking is, already in the beginning of the series, I said that I want to get to a house anytime soon. And we now have a tent, and I do want to get a house. Now, the cheapest house, as far as I know, is 55,000, which is quite expensive. What we could also do involves this, because we also need a starter farm. Now, if we take a look at this, we have a nice house here, and I believe if we were to buy this, we get a sleeping place and all. We have some good silo space here. We have apparently some horse stuff out here. I don't know if we can actually do something with horses in this game. I believe you can, but I'm not sure, so we'll have to figure that out. We have more storage space out here. We have shed space. We have shed space. So, and we even have a little pasture here. So, what we could do... Oh, this is another pasture, I think. So, there'll be 2 pastures. Nice. What we could do, in essence, is try and buy this place. It will cost us 137,000. But given the fact that we have months where we make almost 80 to 100,000 in contract money, we could get this relatively quickly. And this could actually be our starter farm. And we can just leave everything that's on here and change stuff up later. Like get rid of some of the sheds or whatever if we really have to. But as long as we don't, this could be the way to go. And all we have to do is accumulate 137,000. And we can buy that. That gives us the silo space. So we can sell the other silo, which saves us money. We have storage space for all of our equipment. And I think we can buy a lot of fields around this as well. So, and we do have a living space. And that is one of the things that I had in mind the whole time to make this a proper run, is to work towards getting a living space. So the next thing on our list will just be money, money, money to buy that place. Now, right now we only have 13,000 in the bank, but I believe we have 30,000 in our silo if we sell that in a couple of months. So that will get us up to 43,000 already. So we need less than 100,000 to actually be able to buy that property. And if we also can get some animals then, or do some other nice things with that, I think that will be really good. So it will be something that I am willing to try and see if we can aim for that goal. It will make it so that we have to do a lot of contract work, and that will be very busy with that. But again, that is something that I don't mind. So let me just drop off this equipment here, and we're going to check contracts and see if there is more to do. Now, there's another cultivating contract popping up. Oh, 2 next to each other. So we could basically do these 2 fields for a nice price. There is a very small fertilizing contract. That's not going to be... There's a very small hoeing contract. Also not the nicest one. This one takes actually quite long. Plowing, spraying. Oh, I was kind of hoping for a good, like, 11,000 or 15,000 hoeing contract. That's not there, but at least we got cultivating contracts. We can do this big one, or do these 2 and still make less money. This will probably take me at least 1.5 hours, as this one took 2 hours. But we can do that, and it's 15,000. If we might even do them all, although I'm very hopeful that we will still get another hoeing contract or something. But we might just do this one now. Make sure that we get it all done. It is close to the shop where the actual hoe is. And, yep, I'm going to accept this one. So that's the plan for now. Make money, money, money. And by doing that, ensuring that we can get to a point where we can actually buy our starter farm. And I think we'll probably just be 2 or 3 months away from that. And I actually didn't imagine that to be possible this quickly. I was actually thinking it would be way more expensive, and I was just looking at it. I'm like, no, it's not that expensive. And it will provide us with some good space, lots of buildings, even some animal sheds. We'll just have to start planning, though, because it might be that we have to get a field going with some grass so that we know we can get some silage and some hay for the animals and stuff like that. But that's okay. I mean, I would love to do that if it is for the need for animals. Like, if we have to do that and it is just to make as much silage as we can to get some money, I'm not so sure. I would like to get some real crops like the canola that we have now, but also later get root crops and all that kind of stuff. For me, that's more fun. I've already played a lot around with silage and all, but having silage for a reason, because of the animals, I would love to do that. That's okay. We don't have to do a very big field. We can just do a relatively small field. We'll have 3 harvests in a year, so we'll get plenty of silage, even a little bit to sell probably. So it can be a slightly simpler complementary income. Could actually be that we just do that very small field that we have, where we have our silo now. If we turn all of that into grassland, that might actually already be sufficient. On the other hand, having a little bit bigger patch can really help to make it worthwhile to get the big machines like the wrapper and all. So, I don't know. And also a good possibility is that we just keep one of the grasslands that are already grasslands. Like field 69 or field 68, we get one of those fields. We just buy it and use that for our grass production. It's already a grass field. It's nice and cool next to the river. So yeah, we can just leave it there and we can use all the big fields for the good crops. I don't know yet. But yeah, the plan is going to be to buy that 137,000 starter farm. So that at least we have a place to really get started and have some buildings to store our equipment and all. I think that would be really lovely if we could get that. And it will really give us a head start. And yeah, we'll just leave all the buildings. We might sell some buildings later and remove them to, you know, adjust our farm to our needs. But other than that, I think we won't be doing much. It will just be that. Adjusting the farm to our needs. And that should be all. And who knows, maybe later on we will actually sell everything and build up a whole new farm. I don't know. Oops, sorry, I missed my mouse with my hand, so got a bit wonky there. We'll figure it out. There we go. Alright, off to... Oh, I might as well just turn on the lines already, because we're now standing still here anyway. And then as soon as we reach the field, we can get to work. And that will be awesome. So let's go. Here it is. You drive your van. I will drive my machine. Camera back, and let's get going. I love most of the contracts in this game, and I can always have so much fun with all of these, but for now, after 70 minutes of doing this, we have 15,000 in the pocket, but I'm kind of done with cultivating right now. It's time for something else, but before we're gonna do something else, I actually want to look what there is. There's baling, there's more cultivating, fertilizing, not gonna do it. Ooh, 2 hoeing contracts. Oh, that's interesting. We're gonna do those 2. There is time for it, and that's just another easy 8,000 in the pocket. But there is another thing we have to do, which is I think we should fertilize the field that we planted. So one of the things we'll do right now, I'm going to rush back home, get back into... get the hoe attached to this tractor so that we can do that cultivating contract. And then I'll get an AI worker for us to use our other tractor and do the fertilizing of our farm field. I think that's a smart move because, well, you know, we can do a little bit more contracting that way, get an easy 8,000 in, which will get us up to 36,000, meaning that we just need another 100,000 to be able to buy that farm, what we talked about earlier. And we're also getting close to the end of the day. So yeah, we'll make the best use of this day, which is to do more contracts for now. And the AI worker can just do the fertilizing for us. I think we have enough fertilizer, so that should not be the issue. And then those hoeing jobs will go a lot faster than this one, so that's also good news. I really like that, because some of these jobs are just so slow. So yeah, I mean, this is very good money, and I'm happy that we did these jobs, but I'm also happy to do something else right now and get a little bit more variety going on. But it's okay. It's actually good. I mean, we made such good money. I'll check the total balance soon. But yeah, this is nice. And then we can just, you know, get the fertilizing done, do some hoeing, and make the most of the money right now. Because also, we have to remember, last year in the winter, we actually skipped a few months completely because there simply weren't any jobs that we could do. And I'm fully okay with that. Actually, I just think next winter we should probably just do the same. So not even look at contracts, just skip them straight ahead through the winter and be over and done with it. But it could be worth it then to now invest in doing the contract so that we can buy that farm. Also, hopefully can get a few animals, because that will make things a lot different. Then we don't only have crops, but we'll also have a few animals. And I thought we had 2 pastures, so that could be interesting. And from there on out, we can, you know, make other decisions like buy extra fields. At some point, I do want to get a greenhouse. Not for the quick money. That's why I haven't been getting a greenhouse so far, because it's mostly just, you know, quick money and it's nice. But I would love to be able to have a variety of stuff on our farm. And one of the things that is in the game is a greenhouse. And, you know, just having the option there, growing a few crops in there, at some point selling them to the market, of course, will be nice for the variety of jobs. So we'll have to work our land, we'll have to do the greenhouses, we'll have to work the animals. So for being a complete farmer, having 1 or maybe later on 2, but I'll start just with 1 greenhouse, will be nice. Of course, we're first going to get the farm and we're going to expand that, and at some point we'll get the greenhouse. But yeah, I think that can be fun to have the full picture of stuff. But other than that, right now, I'm mostly interested in just making money so that we can make our dreams come true. Now, I'm not going to use this field right now, so we can basically just park stuff up here as well. We don't really have to be that careful. So we just stop out here. We'll park our stuff. I'll go into this tractor. I'll try and grab the fertilizing units, which should be available. I actually think I have to move the harvester soon. Otherwise, we might not be able to pick up the actual hoe, which of course is not good. So let's go like this now. Let's get this one hooked up. Yep, there we go. Everything should be okay, yes. So let me just drive to my own field and set this one up to do that job. Then we'll jump back, we'll get the hoe attached, and we're gonna start doing all the hoeing jobs. And then I think right after that will probably be the end of the episode, or maybe another good hoeing contract pops up and we might have time to do that, but I'm not 100% sure, so we'll have to figure out the time by then. But yeah, there is more to do, which is already great. I love that. And actually this, working on our own field, feels so good. But we've already done quite a few fertilizing jobs, which is why I think it's okay if we just skip doing the fertilizing ourselves and we can let the AI worker do it. That's not a problem. And he should actually be able to do a good job, I think. A way better job than what he did when he was trying to do the cultivating, where he missed a few spots. So let's get in like this. AI worker, yes. Okay, and there he goes. We'll get back in here. I'll have to move this one forward. So we'll just park it out on the field so that it's no longer in the way of anything. And then at some point we'll get a nice parking lot and a nice storage when we actually get into the real farm. But yeah, we need 137,000 for it, at least. So it's going to be a bit of time. I also see that I really need to start cleaning up some stuff soon. So that might be the absolute end of this episode. Me cleaning all of our equipment. Because, you know, it's all just gross and filthy and not how we want it to be. Alright, Q, attach. There we go. Now, what you probably did not see in the edit, I don't know yet because I still have to edit it, of course, but is that I tried to stop driving over the neighbors' fields. So far, I've not been very realistic, you know. I just do a contract, so I just drive over everybody's fields, and I just do whatever I can to finish that field quickly. But of course, that is not really accurate. So what I should try and do is to not drive over other people's fields. And that is something that I really want to try and give a go. So therefore, I have decided to try and not drive over other people's fields that much. So cannot guarantee it will never happen again, of course. But I will try to make it a little bit more realistic by really not driving over fully grown crops of other neighbors while doing a cultivating job like we did last. But I will just try to be a little bit more accurate and precise and skip that. That will sometimes make for a little bit more wonky moves, of course, because sometimes you have to really try out to get the headlands done and figure out a way, so you have to do a little bit of extra driving and all. But that's not a problem, I guess. So... and actually, I think the more realism, the better. I'm also thinking of, at some point, starting a series with precision farming. Now, I've never used it before. I downloaded it, and I will have to figure out how it works and all to see what it is. But then I think that can add some more fun to it. What I am thinking of at the moment is that I might just do a brand new series with that. But we start out with a little farm, so that we can get the hang of precision farming. I'll try to get a little bit of the basics, of course, and then once we get the hang of it, once I know how it works a bit, we can just start on a completely different map and use the precision farming on a small farm that we start with, and then see if we can expand that. Let me know your ideas and thoughts on this. Would it be something you would be interested in, or would it be something like, nah, I don't want to see that, I just want to like the rags to riches, or how do you feel about that? And let me also know if you are like, well, that should be a nice idea. What map should I use for it? Of course, this is not a standard map in the game. This is a modded map. Do you have a map that you can recommend me? Do you want me to use one of the standard maps like Kinlake or Riverbend or Zelonka or whatever? Just let me know what your thoughts and ideas are about that. And for now, this is going well. We're doing a lot of hoeing very quickly. I like this. But it's time for me to close my mouth and just finish this job and the other hoeing job and see what else pops up. And done. That's 2 jobs in. Another 8,000. Let's see. Did other one pop up? Mowing. Nope. Okay, so nothing popped up right now, which is okay. The fertilizing got done, though, on our field, so that's good. I think I'm just going to drive to the town now and make sure that we... there's nothing coming. That we get some extra fuel in. We drive past the garage to do some repairs. Then we might check again for another job. If not, I'm just going to get the AI tractor home because it was done. I have to check if it actually did a good job with the fertilizing. If it did, we'll just get it home. I'll park up everything and then we'll check again probably for a job. If nothing comes up that's any good that I want to do, then we'll probably do another cultivating job. I don't really want to, but I just want the money in. We have 35,000 now, which is good money. Pretty happy with that. We'll lose a little bit, a couple hundred with fuel and repairs. but that's not the worst. And I guess the next month will probably also bring quite a few good contracts. Another thing is, though, I checked, is the money that we get for our crops, and I was mistaken there. I told you earlier that I was getting like 30,000 for it. That's not true. We're actually getting 22,000 for it. It is 30,000 liters. The max price should give us 22,000. So that was a little mistake. I hope I corrected that right now. And then, yeah, you know, it's okay. It's still 22,000, which means that if we add that right now, we would have 75,000 already. And we just need another 80,000 to get to the point where we can buy that farm. And I really hope we can get that done before the winter, because that will be something that I love. So that we can really have a house during winter and sleep in that, which I think will really add to the realism of the game and no longer sleep in a tent. Right, let's repair this for 23. Let's repair this for 348. See, we lost a couple of hundred, but that's okay. Okay, let's do a quick check. Did another, like, a hoeing job or something come up? No. We can always do a mowing one. Although, yeah, this is on one side of the ferry. This is on the other side. So this together is already almost 14,000. We could do cultivating, but there's so much work. Oh, well. We'll figure it out. Right now, I just have to drive back to our farm, I guess. Or, you know what? I'm going to leave this right here. Because if a job comes up, then we can just, you know, drive from here. If nothing comes up, we'll use this one and drive home. But for now, we're just going to jump to this one. Let's now check if it actually did a good job. Yep, everything is fertilized. Just this little corner here, but I don't mind. So we're going to get this little tractor back home and make sure that it is ready to be cleaned later on. And with that, I think that's already good news that we have this home and already. And then from there on out, there's something coming. Nope. Okay, we can get on the road here. We can start to clean our stuff and start slowly wrapping up this episode. And also this day, probably. But it's still, I don't know how long this episode is. I think it's probably going to be quite long, but not too long, because I can edit out a lot of the cultivating jobs. We don't have to watch all of that, because it's not really, like, so repetitive. And if I do it for, like, hours and hours, I think I've done, like, almost 3 hours of cultivating. If I do that, run that at speed 8, it will still be a lot of time to watch. So I'm going to edit a lot of stuff out, I can tell you that. Which is fine. I mean, it's just a repetitive job. We all know how it goes. So that's okay. And at least we get a lot done in this episode. And we can hopefully soon get to our own farm, which is kind of the whole point of this. Getting towards our own farm. Now, of course, it's not about the rush. We don't have to rush it that much. But getting a little bit of stuff done in a nice amount of time would be good, of course. So, yeah, that's basically going to be the goal. Alright, let's park this one up right here so that this is ready. And there we go. Let's take another look at the contracts. Probably nothing popped up because our speed's running relatively slow. Yeah, there is another hoeing job, and it is for 8,000. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. Oh, lucky us. We did get another hoeing job. 8,000. That will get us up to past 40,000. Now that's some sweet money. I like it. So let's drive over there, do the job, and right after that I think we're going to call it an end. I'm just going to clean the equipment and go to sleep then, and we'll end the episode. But for now, first do this job. Okay, that's a quick 8,000 because it cost me around 10 minutes real time. So that is a lot faster than the cultivating goes. Now, I don't really want to look at contracts because I'll be too tempted to do another one. But yeah, this is okay. So we're going to drive home now. And we are going to make sure that I clean all the equipment because it is so dirty. And we're also going to get a good sleep because, you know, we've been at it for a long time today. We've done a lot of work, so we earned an early sleep and a good night's sleep. So that's going to happen. So right now I'll just drive back home. I guess we'll do a little recap of what we did today. Well, you know, we got our field fertilized and seeded in, so that's good. That's totally ready. We can now just, you know, we just need to do one more fertilizer and we get the best yield possible. Or not really the best yield possible because of course we could do lime and all that kind of stuff, but you know, from the stuff that we have, I think we get the best deal possible, so that's already pretty good. And other than that, you know, we just did a lot of contracts and we are working towards our big goal now, getting a new nice farm. All right, let me get out. Let's just take a look at what we did today money-wise. Now, if we take a look at the finances, we spent 21,000 on construction because, of course, we had to harvest our field too. We had to put that in. We had some fuel cost, seeding cost, fertilizer cost, but that's all okay. We earned 1,800 on harvest income, but we earned 60,000 in contract income, and that is some very nice money. We also spent quite a bit of money on the AI, mostly for the cultivating of our field, because we gave him the not so good tractor for that, but that's okay. So all in all, I must say I'm pretty happy with this day. We had a good day. We've spent 58,000 on vehicles, but we made up for that with the contract income, so that's all good. And tomorrow, hopefully, we'll bring more money. And right now we have 43,000 in the bank. We'll get another 22, which gets us up to 65,000. So yeah, we're well on our way to buying that one big piece of land that we want, Field 96. A nice farm with 2 little pastures and plenty of fields around it to get going. So for now, this is going to be it. I will wash up all the equipment. I will then go to sleep. And then I will see you in the next episode, bright and early. And we're going to play in September, year 2. All the rest of me now is to thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and all your comments in the comment section. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.